Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Do you know why ultimately, just on a high level, the SEC ultimately ended up suing Ripple over their sales of XRP as an unregistered security? That's what they're claiming anyway. You know why that happened on a very high level? It's because the SEC thinks that you listening to this are too stupid to make your own financial decisions. And it's always just seemed like such a condescending policy. It's under this veil of we're here to protect the investors, but protect them from what? And the answer is their own stupidity. That's what the SEC is really getting at. They won't word it like that, but that is the case. Why do we have all of these restrictions? Like, even if XRP were a security of Ripple, and it offered some sort of ownership in the company, which none of that's true, but even if it were, understand that it's okay for accredited investors right now to purchase Ripple the company, to invest in it. You can buy shares of Ripple the company right now. They're not a publicly traded company, but you can do that. But the bar to be able to do that, it's pretty damn high. Most people wouldn't qualify. You have to have at least $1 million net worth or be making, I can't remember the exact number, it's either $200,000 or $200,000 a year in order to qualify to do it, because then they consider you sophisticated enough. Apparently, if you just have money, you're now sophisticated. That's the marker right there. And so to me, that's always been kind of insulting, right? And especially the metric that they're using. Oh, just what's the metric? To be sophisticated, have money. And so this is it. And so what are they protecting from? Yourself. And so if you meet those qualifiers, then you can purchase. But if you don't, then all these other people that think that Ripple's a great opportunity, whether they're right or wrong, they have the opportunity to throw their money into Ripple the company. And then by the time there's an IPO, well, you've already missed out on getting out in the ground floor. But it's for your own protection. And so to me, this has always been, it's just been so condescending, because I say, even if people are stupid and they're going to make their own financial decisions, then let them be stupid and lose their own damn money, but don't restrict what the hell I can do with my life when it comes to my investments. I don't like that. And so Commissioner Hester Peirce has highlighted another fault of the SEC, which is right on this topic here. And I'm assuming this is another thing that the SEC attorneys are not going to be too thrilled with, but I'm a big fan of Hester. She just continues to speak what the truth is. And she's speaking about the shortcomings of the SEC, even though she works there. And again, so she's a commissioner. She's one of 5 people at the SEC that gets to vote on whether or not to bring legal complaints against any person or entity, any business. She's one of 5. Which is why I would suspect that, and we don't know, but I would suspect she probably didn't vote to bring the legal complaint against Ripple, just based on the types of things that she's been saying here. You don't know for sure, but either way, she sure as hell is right about what she's saying right here. And so I want to share with you her most recent remarks, because it's just freaking hitting the nail on the head. I've also got a quote from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse that I want to share, but I want to mention I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but purely as a hobby, just for fun. And so I came across what Hester had to say here, which is brand new, thanks to the Crypto Law Twitter account. Now, Crypto Law, of course, was founded by John Deaton, who is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case on behalf of about 19,000 XRP holders. And their account ended up sharing Hester Peirce's tweet, which led to the piece which is on the official SEC website. And so in this tweet, Hester, Commissioner at the SEC, Hester, wrote the following. As regulators seek to protect investors from fraud and get them good disclosures, we ought also to respect investors' right to make decisions for themselves, experiment, and use the latest technology to trade and invest. Well, bravo! I read that and I was like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be good. I'm willing to bet I'm going to be on the same page, because apparently my brain seems to be, just by nature, the way I'm wired, going in the same direction on a whole host of things that her brain is. It just seems like it's doing the same thing, right? And in terms just of logic and reason. And so take a look at this. This is titled, this is on the official SEC website, Remarks at Meeting of Investor Advisory Committee. So it looks like she was just speaking what I'm about to share with you, and it was just transcribed. And it reads as follows. And again, this is brand new, September 9th, 2021. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you to the rest of the committee for your hard work, which is evident in today's 2 draft recommendations and the panel discussions you have planned for today. One of today's panels deals with reimagining investor protection in a digital world. When confronted with new technologies, new products, and new ways of doing things, the regulator's tendency is to say no instead of yes, to stop instead of go, to see danger instead of possibility. The regulatory labyrinth we have built over the years serves this not so fast, Sonny, you might put your eye out mindset well. The SEC's focus is appropriately on investor protection, particularly retail investor protection and market integrity. So let me pause right there. She's certainly hitting the nail on the head, but I want to be clear here too. I have a lot of critiques about the SEC and the way that they're regulating my enforcement and a number of other things. I've been voicing them on this channel. I just don't like the way they're doing what they're doing. But it doesn't mean they're bad at everything. It doesn't mean everybody at the SEC actually is bad. Not all of them are actually asshats. There's a fair share of them over there, very clearly. But of course, they can and they have brought cases against individuals that are outright scammers and businesses that are outright scammy. And of course, I think we can all, rally around that and say, applaud that and say, yes, absolutely, keep doing that. Anytime you find that, yes, do that. But on the flip side, they're crushing the good guys too. So of course we have major beef with this. And her remarks continue as follows. This committee, however, can play a role in reminding us that investor opportunity matters too. By investor opportunity, I mean the chance for investors to try new products and services, to include in their portfolios new types of assets, to use the latest technologies, to get in on the ground floor of new opportunities, to experiment and learn from investment successes and failures. The regulatory process underrates investor opportunity and investors lose out. Whoa, yes, that's in line exactly with what I've been saying on my channel for the longest damn time. And I don't know for sure exactly, I don't know exactly how far she'd take it. Maybe I would differ with her once you get into the nitty-gritty, at least to some degree. But directionally, this is more where I'd want to go, certainly. I don't want to lose opportunity because you're protecting other people that you look down upon because you think they're too stupid, right or wrong, you think they're too stupid to do what they want with their own money. I don't like that. I really do not like that at all. And so when she said here again, you don't want to prevent investors from getting in on the ground floor. Well, again, you listening to this, I'm willing to bet, because again, you remember the high bars I set in terms of being a sophisticated investor. I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of you listening to this, you're not allowed to get in at the ground floor investing in Ripple, the company, if you wanted to, even though if you're sophisticated, which means you have money, that's it. That's all it is. If you're sophisticated, then you can. What the hell is that? And so because the SEC set this up in the first place, that gave them the right to go, or they think anyway, to go after Ripple and sue them for selling XRP as an unregistered security. So it all started with this condescending tone, and it ended with this. And so we'll see. And then she wrapped up her comments by stating the following. Investors want protection from fraud and easy access to robust disclosures, but they also want to be able to interact with their financial firms using the latest technologies, to have access to the full range of investment options, and to take charge of their financial future by spending their hard-earned money as they see fit. Woo! Love that. Investors at times may be willing to take on more risk than the regulator thinks is prudent. Oh my God, yes, somebody at the SEC is saying, oh my gosh. And then she says, a healthy regulatory response would resist the urge to override investor decisions and instead engage and educate investors using the same technologies through which they are investing. As you discuss digital platforms and other topics in the future, help us to remember that a regulator who always says no or takes too long to say yes is not serving investors well. Whoa! And think about how this applies specifically to crypto and blockchain. I'm willing to bet again the SEC attorneys not big fans of Hester, but I'll tell you what, I am, and I hope that you listening to this are also. And take a look at this. This is a tweet from Jerry Britta, who is the executive director at Coin Center. That's the DC-based crypto think tank. And he shared this little snippet from a Bloomberg article, and I wanted to read this. Take a look at this. Yes, ordinary investors have long been banned from buying what regulators deem to be sophisticated investments, such as hedge funds, private equity, and venture capital. Never mind that private assets are much easier to understand than the derivatives available to teenagers on trading apps. But those exclusions seem increasingly antiquated as markets open to more investors, and in any event, decentralized markets can't be gated easily. Rather than fight a losing war with the centralized markets and play whack-a-mole with every token that comes along, regulators should devote more resources to educating investors about how to manage their money responsibly. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Instead of restricting everything under the sun because you're the parents of us and you know best. How about instead of that, if you think that we're too stupid, first of all, that's still condescending, but even if so, and even if you're right, I still don't want my freedom taken away just because you're right, even if you are right. I'm not ceding that point. I'm saying even if you are, don't take away my freaking freedom. How about you just investigate these people that you look down upon, educate them, and educate the investors that you look down upon. Teach them how to manage money responsibly. I don't even think one of the most important concepts in finance, compound interest, I don't even think that's sufficiently taught in school to children growing up, which is really disappointing because it's the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest absolutely is. And then there was this from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He wrote the following. And this was just the other day, September 8th. The SEC's continued warfare on crypto continues to play out. In December 2020, I said that we'd been having discussions with the SEC for nearly 3 years about XRP, and yet never been met with clarity. Sound familiar? Thankfully, today, many recognize the havoc caused by regulation by enforcement. We're ready to work with responsible actors, pro-innovation members of Congress, and others in paving a path to clarity and certainty with U.S. regulators. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And how true is that? And Ripple indeed has been warning about this pretty heavily ever since December of 2020 when the SEC came after them. They are not the only target. All of crypto is a target here. And Stuart Alderodi retweeted that from Brad Garlinghouse, and he is general counsel at Ripple, over 35 years of legal expertise, with expertise in banking, regulatory affairs, and complex litigation. That's how he describes himself on Twitter here, as you can see. And he wrote the following. We are told to engage with the SEC in good faith. And what do we get? Enforcement actions, or threats of them, with no clarity. Their preferred method of strong-arm intimidation and inconsistently applying unclear rules hurts consumers and markets in the end. It's like, this is what Hester is talking about too. And then he says and he cites UK, Singapore, Japan, etc., have clear frameworks for innovation to flourish with consumer and market protection. Others with sandboxes for safe collaboration between innovators and regulators. How did the U.S. end up with secret regulatory inquisitions? And so what he's referencing there is another hot story I've been covering, which is the fact that the SEC has been threatening Coinbase with a lawsuit if they move forward with their lending platform, which is simply called Lend, L-E-N-D. If they do it, the SEC has decided we're going to threaten you. And they've already implemented intimidation tactics, which I've highlighted. And, the SEC, as Stuart points out here, they'll say, oh, no, come on, in good faith, let's work together, figure out what we can do. You move forward, you can have the regulatory clarity, operate in the space. But what actually happens? They won't provide clarity because they don't want to, because then they're going to feel like they're held down and they can only argue limited positions legally if they do that. And so you get crap like this. And we can all see it, and we're all grossed out by it. This is exactly what they're doing. I'll go ahead and wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.